Hey guys, my name is Donita and welcome to my channel. On this channel, I do clothing hauls, travel vlogs, hair reviews, and I cater to the lazy wig wearer, meaning I don't like to put a lot of effort in my wigs. So yes, and we also talk about some black love on this channel. In May of 2019, I created a wedding video on how to create an affordable wedding, and I still get comments to this day and questions, and I watched that video and I cringe because I was new to YouTube. The quality was terrible, and I was like, I can just redo this and break it down and give more detailed explanation. So that's why we are here today. In last week's video, I talked about the proposal, soaking that moment in and taking it in. Also, the first steps to planning a wedding. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you watch that and then come back and watch this one and hit that Black Love playlist button so you can, watch them all in order. And yeah, so we're going to dive into some things in this video, okay? We're going to talk about the location and venue and how to find a good one and how to plan for that, okay? So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get reminders every time I post a video, and we're going to be right back. Okay, so we're going to talk about how I found my venue, okay? There are several websites such as Wedding Wire, Wedding.com, Wedding Spot, and they show like a list of venues. And for me, it was just, they were so expensive. And I was looking in the Pittsburgh area. If you guys don't already know, we live in New Jersey, but we're from Pittsburgh, and we were having our wedding in Pittsburgh. And I just was just not happy with none of those prices. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is beyond expensive. So I Googled affordable venues in Pittsburgh. That's what I was looking for. And on page like 3 or 4 of like Google, you know how there's like so many pages at the bottom. I was on like page 3 or 4 at this time. And I found like a blog post. I clicked on it and I was reading the comments under the blog post because people were responding to it. Someone else had asked, affordable weddings, affordable venues, things like that, something nice. And I was reading the comments and I found a couple venues. I actually reached out to a few of them and only one person responded, and that was the venue that I got married at. So that, my friends, is how I found my affordable venue. Yes, it's a lot of work. Trust me, I know. So I got married at the Fez in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the F-E-Z, Fez. I think I'm saying that correctly. And they offered a discount to have a wedding on a Friday or Sunday. So that's a way you guys can save money. We decided to have our wedding on a Friday. I gave everyone a year's notice because it was in the middle of July in the summer, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to tell everyone a year in advance so they don't plan any vacation time around it. The venue was also 30 to 45 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. Keep in mind, if you have your venue in the downtown inner city area where you live, it's going to be more expensive because it's downtown, but from downtown it was like a 30 to 45 minute drive. Another way we saved money was by having the ceremony and the reception in the same room. That was something that I kind of battled with because I'm like, I don't want people to see the tables and the chairs. I was a little kind of swole about that. One of my friends, she actually did the same thing, but she had like a wall separating it. One of those walls that you pull out. I think they're like on a track, or they might not be on a track. They're separated by a curtain maybe. That's how she did hers. So she had like an arch. She had the tables, not the tables, the chairs on each side. She walked down the aisle. We went out to the reception area, and then they pulled the curtain back and moved the chairs. For my wedding, they had the tables and chairs set up on the side. They had the bridal party table behind the ceremony. And yeah, we walked down the aisle. We did the whatever, came back out. Everyone came out for reception, and then they moved the chairs. So that's another way you can save money as well. That will have to be a conversation between you and your spouse, if that's something that you want to do. We decided not to get married at a church because the church that's my home church back in Pittsburgh, it was a 30 to 45 minute drive. And I'm like, I don't want to make everybody, it's just too much moving around. So we decided to have it in the same location. There were other rooms inside the venue, but I didn't like them. I didn't like the way it was set up. So I was like, you know what? Let's just have it in the same room. And it actually turned out really nice. I will say that. So my uncle is a judge. You guys, when you're planning a wedding, make sure you utilize your resources. That's going to be the biggest way you save money. If you have friends, coworkers, relatives, you know, try to utilize them if you can. My uncle is a judge, so I save money that way because he did our ceremony for free. He married us, so yes, it was a nice family moment, you know. Keep in mind, a lot of these venues cost money. When you're paying for the food package and things like that, you're paying per person. Yes, per person, okay? So yeah, so when we picked our venue, they had different food packages. I picked the princess buffet. I didn't want to do a plated dinner because I was a little nervous about what to pick, and everyone would have the same thing, and I'm like, oh, I want a variety. So I picked a princess buffet dinner package, and it was like $40 per person. And for the venue in that particular room, the minimum requirement was 100 people, and that was our maximum. I was like, we're not going over 100 people. Like we just can't. So yeah, that was like already $4,000 right there. So there you have it. So the chairs were included. So I had to pay for the chair covers because I didn't like, they weren't like, you know, nowadays. Oh, this was back in 2017. It wasn't those pretty like not glass. It wasn't those pretty like clear plastic chairs that most people are using nowadays. Those are the chairs you really want to have. But back then, they were so freaking expensive. I was like, I'm not doing it. So we had regular chairs, but I wanted a chair cover. So I had a silk chair cover that cost, and then I had a pink sash that went around it. So that cost money too. So you have to pay per person for food, for the chair, and the chair covers and the sashes. That's what we did. One thing I will say about the venue is that I was nervous about the food. I didn't know anyone personally that actually went there and ate there or had their wedding there. So for Mother's Day, I sent my mom, my sister, and my grandmother there. They had like a Mother's Day luncheon. I sent them there. I said, try the food for me. You know, I paid for them to go, whatever, and they approved. So I was like, okay, we good to go. Another fun tip that I did was that I joined a Facebook group. Pittsburgh has like a wedding Facebook group. If you know, whatever area you're in, check to see if your local area has like a wedding Facebook group, and you can join. You know, people, photographers, florists, makeup artists are all in that group. So yeah, it was nice to connect with other women like myself who were planning a wedding, who had questions. You know, we bounced ideas off each other. People will come in, hey, what do you guys think about this? Or what do you think about this? So, you know, it was nice. It was really nice. I'm actually still in the group. I check it every now and then, but, you know, I don't need it. So I also signed up on all those wedding websites, Minted, Etsy, The Knot, a bunch of websites, and I got bombarded with emails. It was the most annoying thing ever. So keep that in mind when you guys are signing up for these websites. Wedding.com, Wedding Wire, they will bombard you with emails. It's so annoying and it's very overwhelming because you're already like all over the place, you know? So yeah, just keep that in mind. So I was trying to win a free honeymoon, you guys. I went to a bunch of wedding expos. I feel like it was a timeshare thing. If you're not really familiar with the whole timeshare thing, basically someone that has a timeshare, they say, oh, you know, I want to give you a free timeshare. So they give you the free timeshare. Usually you have to pay like $100 security deposit, and they have so many locations. Like you can go overseas, you can do it like, you know, in the US or wherever. My husband and I used my cousin's timeshare to go to Orlando. We went to like Universal Studios and all that stuff. So we stayed in her timeshare, but it was free because they want to sell it to you, if that makes sense. We paid $100 security deposit. We had a whole week to use, but we only used like a weekend, Thursday through Sunday. And that Saturday we had to listen to a 2 to 3 hour timeshare presentation. They gave us breakfast and everything, and that's the only like thing you have to do. So we did that, and We told them we didn't want it, you know, we didn't want to buy it, and that was it. So I feel like, this is just my personal theory, I feel like these wedding expos are doing that, like timeshare presentation deals, because you can technically give someone a free vacation if they listen to the timeshare presentation. So yeah, I never won any, you know, free honeymoon, but that's just my theory. So as far as for today's video, you guys, that's pretty much it. We highlighted location and venue and some tips and tricks that you can use to, you know, get a better deal. I will say, if you have it on a Sunday, you have to keep in mind people have work. If you have it on a Friday, you have to think about after work, but I told everyone a year in advance, so they had plenty enough time, okay? So stay tuned for next week's video. We're going to talk about the bridal party, okay? And thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so you can get reminders every time I post a video. Save the Black Love playlist below, and I will see you guys next week. Namaste.